Beautiful Gemini, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading for the full moon in Virgo. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is a little bonus reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to let you know, this full moon in Virgo is an extremely powerful force that will actually affect us all energetically from the 7th of March. You may already be feeling this shift as we move throughout this time period. Also, this full moon takes place just when Saturn, the planet of hard work, tough love, tough lessons, and hard facts, changes signs into Pisces. So expect to feel extra sensitive and emotional at this time. However, it does make us more resilient, and it is not to be feared because it actually calls us out in areas of our life that need transforming so that we can live the best life possible. It helps us step into our power even further. So expect to be more focused on your health, eating habits, sleeping patterns, exercise routines, and you may also feel more compelled to source natural products for nutritional value, as well as alternative therapies. Now, this full moon will see you become the best version of yourself as you lead with empathy and love, releasing any perfectionistic tendencies or inner critical narratives in order to love parts of yourself that perhaps you've neglected due to a busy lifestyle, as well as if you've had a lot of responsibility, perhaps you've been in a mode of doing. Isn't this really interesting? Okay, they were actually showing me an image. If it comes up in the water, I'll mention it again. I do a little meditation 10 minutes before your reading. It's for 10 minutes to check in with your energy before I go. And they were showing me a particular image, okay? They're actually, well, I might as well mention it because this is the card. They were showing me the David Bowie lightning bolt. Okay, it hasn't come up in the water again. I'm just mentioning it. It's just because this figure here has actually has a bird over the eye, but David Bowie had that lightning bolt over the eye. So maybe there's something in that. We will go. It could be a symbol that you will see over the next couple of weeks that indicates some sort of change or an idea that really changes your life. I'm just going to go one more. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see? Yes, so back to the energy. Part of this full moon will also encourage you to declutter your home space, balance your finances, and be in the flow of natural organization, making time and space for yourself, for meditation, for quiet time, and for setting intentions, and maybe even sitting down and reading a good book so that you can really quieten the mind. And we also have Mars and Neptune clashing this week as well. So you may have excess energy and you may be finding a way to channel it either through exercise or creative pursuits, or really, sorting out some sort of problem, finding a solution to a problem that perhaps you've had for a little while that you've been wrestling with in the mind. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Your cards are getting a little bit chaotic right now, so perhaps that's how you've been feeling. You've been feeling a little bit like frazzled. You've been doing a lot of things, a lot of multitasking. You may have felt that you haven't had a lot of time to do what you really want to do. You've been very busy, and you may feel that you're having to do a lot of juggling in your life, and you feel just a little bit scattered in your energy. We will, as I said, check in fully with the energy in a moment. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? We've got the Empress. Okay. So this reading is a little bit different from the usual readings. This is really about how you are, checking in with your feelings and the undercurrent of what's going on, the stuff below the surface that perhaps you don't let everybody in to see or witness or experience or confide in. All the other readings like love and, you know, career, they're important, of course, but this is a little bit of a check-in with you, especially since the full moon is all about feelings. It's all about, you know, raising those doubts within ourselves. The full moon actually brings to the surface things that have been worrying us or things that we need to focus on and release the pressure, basically. Now, your first card there is the Black Moon, okay? The Black Moon. So, I mean, look, it even says hidden truths to the surface, the power of the hidden, retreat, necessary, void, unwanted change, outcomes remain unclear. So some of you may be going through a major restructure in your life, and some of these experiences may have been thrust upon you, or you're making them yourself. This is before you came to this reading, okay? You may see things like, even in terms of world events, there's a lot of change going on behind the scenes, and you may feel that energetically and be worrying or wondering, how does this affect you, and what is your pathway through it? How does it affect you and your family unit? With the Empress and the Crone energy, I see that energetically you are someone who is very spiritually aware, you're very intuitive, and you can feel the undercurrent. You're actually putting yourself in a really good position. The Empress energy really indicates that everything that you're working really hard on will actually become very, very successful. It will bring a lot of abundance. It also indicates a very solid foundation, okay? So I feel like you're being very clever in your circumstances. For example, you know, you may be looking economically at our situation and global events and thinking, okay, things are fluctuating quite a lot. Perhaps you are like restructuring your finances, making sure that banks are not linked where you have your finances, so that they are insured, for example, because if you have all your finances in two institutions that are linked, you know, should there ever be an economic fluctuation, you're only insured for one. So I feel like you're actually being very, very clever about your circumstances, but you may have been feeling a little bit insular recently, and global events aside, I feel like you are coming up with lots of ideas of how to navigate those difficult times. And I say difficult, everything that changes is difficult because humans, we like to know where we're at, okay? So there is restructuring going on. And I mean, I have to say, Pluto is really making waves for the collective. The last time Pluto actually visited the sign of Aquarius, okay? That was way back in like 1778 to 1798, I think it is. We actually saw major industrial advances during that time. The French Revolution was during that time as well, they're giving me, as well as, oh, I did not know this. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. Minting the dollar. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Minting the dollar, but they're giving me minting the dollar. Okay, so whatever that means, I'll look it up. I always love to learn. I learn so much in these readings. It's incredible. But minting the dollar. And so they're indicating that that was a time of radical change. And we can already see that Pluto is actually influencing restructures technically and financially on a global scale at the moment. So Pluto, it's like, you know, a volcano. It erupts and it just, you know, revitalizes or changes the landscape. And so I feel there is a major restructure ahead, and you are looking at how you navigate. Now, because you got the Hierophant there, you know, and the Father of Cups, you're following your heart, you're following your intuitions, and actually you're very knowledgeable. And I see you looking at lots of videos online, perhaps, in order to navigate these changes, and I see you putting yourself in a very good position, okay? That's what I'm seeing there. I'm just going to leave that to the side because I feel these are little fears and worries deep down that perhaps we all have, I don't know, but they're coming up in the reading collectively for every sign. So perhaps there's just a little undercurrent and you're like, you know what, I don't really want to think about that because, you know, it's something that's out of my control. But at the same time, it may be on your mind to some degree. So it's coming up in the readings. I'm just addressing it right there for you, okay? Now, hidden truths coming to the surface. This is you being really honest with yourself, because Saturn actually is very strict. It actually forces us to have a bit of a wake-up call in certain areas of our life which need restructuring. We've got the renewal, and we've got the Eight of Cups here. We've also got the Crone, which is the Hermit card. So I feel you are in need of recharging your batteries, that's for sure. You've been busy doing, you've been on the go. And because you're an air element as well, your mind is like, excuse me, excuse me. I've been going through a bit more asthma recently, so I do apologize for having to clear my throat. Nobody likes to hear that on the camera. That's why I'm saying that. Anyway, moving on. You may have felt there's been a lot on your mind recently, and you know your mind is like a supercomputer. So you have like millions of ideas hitting you all the time, and you may be the sort of person who is like you start something and it's really exciting, and then something else captures your attention, and then you've got that on the go, and you've got many projects on the go. I feel Saturn is actually going to influence you to finish what you start, and you're going to be very productive this month as well. But deep down, I feel like there's either an idea that you've been sitting on for a while that perhaps you will action over this time period that's going to be very lucrative, that's going to actually put you in a very good position. Some of you, deep down, you're very unclear about, you know, as you mature, you may be thinking about love. If you haven't got love at this moment in time, you may be worried about whether love is going to visit your door. It is, okay, I definitely see you being very attractive. They're actually showing me that in your, as you get older, and I don't care how old you are, whether you're 18, 25, 89, 103, whatever it is, as you grow older, they're indicating here that actually you are becoming more and more attractive, and you do not look your age. No matter what age you are, you do not look your age, because you have that wonderful childlike spirit deep within you that you do dip into from time to time. I know life is busy, and it's, you know, we've got to focus on so many things, and you may feel exhausted a lot of the time. But because you have that wonderful, playful spirit within you, because you are a sign of duality, you do check in with that childlike spirit often, and that keeps you youthful, okay? So they're indicating if you are looking for love and you're worried about not finding love, there is love on the horizon for you. I don't care how old you are, there is a potential for you to find love because you're vibing at a frequency of love, okay? But it says retreat is necessary, and they're indicating you need to recharge your batteries. The Eight of Cups basically says, you know, take some time to you know, take stock of things, especially when it comes to your true calling, because you've got the Judgment card here as well. So a lot of you during this full moon period, you'll be thinking about your true calling, you'll be thinking about your faith, you'll be thinking about the direction that you're headed on and the journey that you've taken so far. So this could be quite an overwhelming experience where you start to think about all in the past that you've gone through in order to find resolutions to situations that perhaps have tried to control you or had power over you in the past, negative experiences. I feel like those things no longer have power over you. The Eight of Cups says that you are cutting those things out. But ultimately, this card indicates that you are currently going through a major journey of discovery on a spiritual level, but also on a physical level. I feel like you are cutting things out left, right, and center that are just not right for you anymore, or that you've outgrown. These could be things like food substances that have perhaps made you feel lethargic or not good about yourself, or have created some sort of reaction. I definitely feel like you are, you know, learning more about who you are and your body as your body actually changes. Some of you may have even been going through bodily changes due to, you know, some cycle in your life, or hormonal, or even you're going through the change if you're a feminine energy there. Some of you may also have gone through some sort of unwellness before you came to this reading, and your body is adjusting. So give yourself time to adjust. I see you being back to optimum health as you move throughout this time period, but you need to rest. You need to give your body what your body needs. So I feel like actually you're getting a deeper connection with your body during this full moon in Virgo energy, okay? Even though you're a Gemini energy, you are actually being influenced by the Virgo energy to get clear on health and be a little bit more organized, or be a little bit more disciplined in the things that are good for you and the things that are not. But because you are a Gemini, of course, you always see both sides. You are that duality energy where it's like a little bit of how can I put that? Sometimes things can be good for us because they lift our spirits, but they may not be good for us. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need to just go out and have fun and enjoy yourself and have that little thing that you fancy that perhaps, is a little bit naughty or whatever. Life is about balance. So I feel a little bit of both sides is really healthy. So if anyone just tells you should be happy all the time, or you got to be good all the time and have no vices and all of those things, that's just not the human experience that we've all come to have. We've come to experience life on all levels, and I feel that is something that you have actually tried to do in this lifetime so that you can have the most beneficial experience. And I definitely see that you are rediscovering parts of yourself as well that you feel perhaps you've lost or let go of, that you want to return to. These may be things or experiences like that you used to do. For example, you may used to be very communal. You may have been very sociable, going out all the time. You may have felt like you lost parts of those aspects of yourself, especially during the pandemic. All the narrative and the energy, the dynamics have changed to a certain degree, and you may be trying to get back to that place. Or even though we're moving on in some aspects, depends on where you are in the world really regarding that, but I feel like you are trying to rediscover parts of yourself, or areas of your life where you feel you've let go of those things. You want to get back there because we've got the Judgment card, which is a return card. So I feel this journey of discovery is to return to parts of yourself that you love, that perhaps you have not been able to connect to, or that you feel you've had to neglect because life has been difficult, right? I mean, we've all gone through a collective trauma in the last couple of years. And although life is difficult anyway, that on top of it has really changed the dynamics of how we all interact with our lives going forward. So with this Judgment card, I feel like you are finding your way. And with this card, it's also a bit of a wake-up call, because it says, you know what you need to do to make the changes in your life. And sometimes it's difficult to make those changes. If you're someone who has felt very alone, or you felt very cut off, or you always feel like you're on the outside looking in at the moment, I definitely see that you're finding your soul tribe. But you've been given this period where you have almost become solitary, or you've taken a step back from situations that you've outgrown, so that you can go through this major period of self-development. And when you come through it on the other side, which I see you doing, because all your cards point to a lot of learning that you're going through. It's to make you feel stronger, but it also will connect you to your soul tribe, and you will get back to those aspects of yourself that perhaps you've been missing, okay? Now, this card is also a card of your true calling and your true north, so I feel a lot of you will be focused on that, but this is a card of renewing your energy, revitalizing your spirits, and almost like revamping who you are or aspects of yourself. So some of you may be feeling called to, like, I don't know, express yourself differently through your clothes or through your hair or through your makeup. And it's not about aesthetics. I feel like you're just exploring aspects about yourself. Maybe that's what the lightning bolt on the David Bowie lightning bolt was all about, exploring aspects of self. Maybe that's what it's about, in order to change or evolve into certain aspects of yourself that you want to be at this time. Also, with this renewal card, I feel it is important to revitalize your spirits, to actually bring a little bit more vitality, a little bit more excitement and change or spontaneity into your life, because they just keep giving me this change it, change it, change it. If it's something that you feel is negative in your life, or it's something that's weighing you down, or you feel a little bit stuck, they're indicating change it, okay? They're actually showing me now in the water a lightning bolt. Okay, so just a general lightning bolt, not the David Bowie one. So I feel the lightning bolt is a symbol that you will see over the next couple of weeks, which indicates like sudden ideas or sudden events unfolding that bring clarity for you. It's not a negative energy is what they're showing me. It's actually an energy of change that is very positive. It can also be like a boost of energy, because lightning is like, huge, like bolt of energy. So I feel it's an energy of anything is possible, and you will revitalize your spirits and feel a little bit more motivated to make the changes that you want to see in your life, okay? Now we've also got stability. okay? It's the earth element there, and it's in the resistance position. So you may have felt there's some aspects of your life that have not been as stable as you would like, or you felt like you were free falling out of a comfort zone. Sometimes being out of a comfort zone is very, very positive, okay? I feel like you will find the balance between the two. It says here, stability, the physical world, nature, practicality, solid foundations, being patient, be rooted and grounded. This is actually, okay, thank you so much, I'm sure grateful. They're giving me a sentence. I'm not sure if it's a quote or whether it's a rhyme or something, because it sounds like a rhyme, but I'm gonna have to look it up. I've never heard this before. A trine shall be thine. A trine shall be thine. Okay, a trine shall be thine. Okay, thank you so much, I'm sure grateful. A trine is basically very positive. A trine is actually a lucky moment in terms of celestial bodies. Actually, we do have on the 30th of March, we have Mars and Saturn forming a very supportive trine. So this would actually be a perfect time to get any of your plans off the ground. It's very supportive of those plans. It will be very successful. So if you've got wonderful ideas, which of course you do, there is the equivalent of a feather there. So feathers represent the mind. You have an incredible mind, and so pay attention to any ideas that come to you during this very reflective time over the full moon period, because they will actually bring a lot of stability and money, wealth into your life. Earth represents, financial reward for your hard work and stability. So I feel like you will be grounded. And if you are struggling in some area of your life where you feel things have not been going in your favor, or you felt a little bit unsettled, with the Hierophant and this card, it can mean that you're going to come across information from someone who is in the know, or someone who is a professional in their area, that will help you. Now, some of you may pay for that information, but also, social media platforms like YouTube are awesome, because you can type in anything you like in that search box, and it will come up with a free video of how to do stuff. So how to set up a YouTube channel, or how to learn more about financial economics, how to learn to emigrate, how to learn to buy a property, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing. There's a video out there for you to learn free on like social media platforms. So because the Hierophant is all about learning, but I feel on a deeper level you're learning more about yourself during this full moon period, and the Hierophant is also about connecting to your spiritual path. So if you feel or have felt a little bit disconnected from spirituality or your faith in some areas, or you've been questioning because you've had a real test of faith, because I see that there's been a bit of a testing time, especially since you've got the black moon there. The moon is a celestial body that cannot shine all by itself. It needs the sun. And if you've been feeling that situations in your life are depleting your energy, or you've just been feeling really exhausted, sometimes we can feel really disconnected. We don't mean to feel disconnected, but we can feel like we're numb, or we can feel like we're like running on empty. So if you've been feeling that way, it's important to recharge your batteries so that you can be running on optimum best, okay? And if you've had people or friends or situations where they have, been depleting your energy, I feel like you're being more discerning about your energy. You're still being generous with your time and your care and your devotion, but you're erecting a healthier boundary to make sure that you have some time for you, okay? Now with the Hierophant, some of you are going to connect to a spiritual practice that perhaps you've disconnected from. It could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be, scrying, whatever it is, I feel like you will deepen your spiritual gifts during this time. Some of you may even want to learn more about spirituality, or an area that you've always been fascinated by. This is a time of learning for you, okay? Some of you may even meet a spiritual teacher or a guru, or you may even go into teaching yourself because you're so knowledgeable about what you do. But I do see a return to the good old days for you. So if that's something that you've been yearning for, that's definitely something that is headed in your direction. You will be making some changes, though, that affect those areas, okay? This card sort of steps into the mix when you are reminded to be grateful for all that you have in your life. I mean, some of us are going through some, difficulties that sometimes we question, why do we go through difficulties? And it is a real test of faith. For example, me and my family, we just lost someone who's very dear to us. They've transitioned, and it was a real shock. It just was out of the blue, a real shock, okay? And we're wrestling with that in ourselves. You know, so some of us are going through, you know, some really difficult experiences, and they're all going to be different, and it will test us along our path. And it's about finding a way to resolve those things within ourselves. It's hard. You know, I don't have the answers on that. And when I've asked my guides, they are telling me, you know, and this is for me personally, but they say, you know, that this is a test on attachments, on a test on your faith, to know, to surrender, to know that we are all connected, and that there are otherworldly events and energies that we do not fully understand yet, but we will understand. And it is to have faith in the unknown, trust in the unknown, and it shall be so. And the things like law of attraction do prove that. You know, I always say, even when I've gone through very dark moments in my life, and I'm only mentioning this because you have the black moon there, which can see some of us really feeling oppressed, or feeling that we have low energy, or we just cannot see, we're in the void, we cannot see how change can occur. You know, even in my darkest moments, and friends have said, just be positive. I'm like, come on, seriously, I've lost everything belonging to me, and you're telling me to be positive. How can I be positive? But I did a trial, and I tried to every morning wake up and say, I'm so grateful, dear universe, for everything that you have shown me, given me, and, you know, taken from me, because I understand that you have a greater divine plan for me. And at first I was like, this ain't gonna work. But then I tried to believe in it, and with all of my heart and soul. And I kid you not, the things that I was struggling with disappeared. Things that I had longed for, worked hard for, that was never coming for me, just suddenly started showing up in my life, because I believed that they would come, and I didn't have to work as hard anymore to accomplish those things. So it did work. It does work. Okay. So some of you, if you've been reading like the Law of Attraction or The Secret, and you've stopped reading it, or you've put it down, they'll give me an indication, pick it right back up again. There's also, and I'm not here to, you know, what do you call it, promote anybody's stuff. I'm not one, I don't do that. But I'm just seeing like the Law of, no, it's called The Secret. There's a movie of that as well. So if you're someone who's very visual and would rather watch something, you could watch that as well. You know, it works. So it worked for me. It's worked for a lot of my friends as well. So just worth thinking about there too. Now, the Father of Cups and the Hierophant, some of you before this reading may be going through a divorce, or may have gone through a separation, a high-level commitment separation, and you've been feeling very emotionally sensitive. I'm sending you a huge hug out there. I want you to be aware, this is not the end of your love story, okay? Just to let you know, this is not the end of your love story. And although that may not make you feel okay in this moment, in the future you will look back on this moment and you will see why certain people or situations are removed from your path in order for you to experience better. Sometimes humans, we accept less than we truly deserve. So it's worth noting that for the future, okay? But this is also about you listening to your heart, okay? I feel like you are someone who has a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and you love so much. You are so generous with your kind heart, and you always care about everybody, but you feel a lot of responsibility within the home space. You are a protector. You're also a healer as well. And you know, you're very intuitive and very sympathetic to people. And sometimes that means you need to recharge your batteries extra, because you're always giving. So give yourself that time that you need in order to do that, okay? In terms of career, I would say, and this is not meant to be about career, but it is showing up. Some of you, you may be worried about entering or returning to the career sector. Some of you, if you've thought about retiring, or you have retired and you're thinking, okay, economically, it's a little bit difficult. I see some of you either returning to the career sector, but not in the same way. Some of you, I know a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, I retired. I'm definitely not returning. And if you're in that position, then great. But I'm picking up a small percentage of people who are like, maybe I should return to the career sector. You'll do it in a different way. I see it being very creative. I see you doing something that you enjoy doing, and it's almost like passive income, where, like, for example, if you're an artist, you could do something and then put it online and it'll be selling in the background. Or if you worked in a certain career sector, you may actually get online and create some sort of teaching program to help others on how to do what you used to do, because you are a master of your craft. You are actually very talented, very gifted, and it's something that you would put online and it would be just ticking over in the background because you have experience. You have the gift of experience, okay? Now, whether you're retired or not, some of you may be thinking about doing that anyway because you do have the Hierophant, which means you can teach other people something that you do, or something that would be like, because you're a visionary, so you could do something that would support other people, but it could be like an internet thing that you create, you put it up online, and it just is ticking over in the background for you, and it would just bring in more wealth. I don't know why that's coming up in this reading. It wasn't meant to, but it is. So maybe someone is struggling out there. If you are looking for work and you've been struggling, there is definitely an opportunity coming for you, okay, that only requires your knowledge, and it will pay more money than you expected, okay? So if you're worried financially, I actually see things working a lot better for you in the future financially as well, okay? Now we do have, as an outcome, we have awareness. Okay, it's Mercury, of course, and my beautiful Gemini. Mercury and you are best buddies. So it says awareness, communication, writing, news, short trips, thoughts, ideas, perception, learning, and intelligence. So, I mean, look, you've even got like computer chips right there on the sides. So I feel like some of you have got lots of ideas that you could put online. Some of you, because of your experience, you know, for example, coming back to people who are retired, you're re-entering the career sector may just be through you writing a book about your experiences, or writing a novel, or allowing yourself, your voice, to create something that will help other people, and in so doing it also helps you financially as well. So it's not like you may be returning like to the career sector. Some of you, if you've been, on maternity leave or paternity leave, let me get my teeth back in my mouth, you may actually be returning to the career sector right now and feel a little bit hesitant, but at the same time, you're going to really enjoy it. It's going to be lots of new ideas, and your mind is sparking. But ultimately, this is about freedom of speech, okay? Sticking to your morals, being someone who is very independent and not conforming, and marching to the beat of your own drum. As you can see there's a bird over the eye, and this is all about freedom, seeing and being clear, having clarity of mind there, okay? I'm going to look up that sentence. It's coming up again. A trine shall be thine. Okay, so maybe there's a, this is a lucky moment for you. I mean, there's like a golden brain there and a rose. It's like lots of ideas, being a visionary, seeing the future. You are someone who just has an incredible mind. And they're giving me a song as well. Oh, this song is quite like, if I was to describe this song, it's almost like I'm in a pinball machine. Right, okay, I think this song has come up before once, maybe a couple of years ago. Okay, it's so incredibly intense. Let me try and get the lyrics for this. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. It's just so overwhelming. I'll take your brain to another dimension. Pay close attention. And it's like really intense. I'm going to just ground myself from that energy. It's, I do know who sings this song actually. The Prodigy. That's it. The Prodigy. I mean, even if you think about the song they've just given you, which is super intense. The Prodigy, you are someone who is like a maverick, great ideas. I mean, maybe this is a very transcendental time as well, because we do have Saturn, going into Pisces, which is all about your goals and your dreams and all the things that you love. And, taking your brain to another dimension helps you see your path more clearly. So I'd pay close attention to dreams, any daydreams as well that come on in. Because thoughts become things, and you are like the master or the mistress of the mind. So just watch out for that, because I feel like you're in a strong vibration of manifestation, because that's coming through very clearly. Okay, now we also have the 7th house there. So some of you, if you are looking for love, there is marriage or relationships coming on in. For those of you who have separated from somebody and are wanting to return to somebody, that is also possible at this time. It's not always possible, but because you have the Judgment card there, this may be something that you're thinking about. I feel like you will approach the relationship in a different way, with understanding, and see things from a different viewpoint, but there is reciprocity. So if you do want to heal something with somebody, then there's definitely an opportunity. And it doesn't always have to be a love relationship. It can be like a a family rift, or it can be a friendship that has, you know, taken a different dynamic. I feel like there's a potential here for a solution to be found and an olive branch to be extended. Okay, so just watch out for that. But we've got marriage, relationships, equality, business partners, true love, justice, friendships, rivals, enemies, and contracts. Okay, so this is really about you weighing up who deserves a place in your life during this time, who supports you, who's got your back, and who you feel does not wish you well, or situations that perhaps have been toxic that do not help you advance in life. So I really feel this is a very futuristic kind of energy that I've got coming through for you, with regards to where you're headed, where you feel like you are in terms of you know, those around you, partnerships in general, how you integrate with people. And as I said, at the end of the month, you're going to be a little bit more sociable. There's going to be this period where you feel like withdrawing, but then you're going to be feeling a little bit more sociable. You want to get out there, you want to have fun, you want to connect to communal events or things that really inspire you. Some of you may take up a new hobby or a sporting practice to channel that excess energy, but also to put you in a really healthy spirit, so that you can attract more goodness into your life. Now we got the crone there, so you are someone who is very, very wise. In this transition of wisdom, these downloads of learning more about yourself and really being very decisive about your company and your situations, you are going to emerge having learned a lot of lessons. But this is a card of introspection and enlightenment. Okay, this is a card of you finding the truth that is inwards. Also, this card indicates that some of you may be thinking about going solo in your life in some way, and whether it is, you know, you're leaving a relationship behind or you are solo at this moment in time, you are very attractive and you will attract a mate if you are looking for one. So there's definitely a high level commitment coming on in there. They want you to realize that you are a diamond, you are a gift, and that yes, you've had a lot of difficulties in life, but if you think about diamonds, they are formed under pressure. So you are becoming, and they want you to be aware of that and remember that and value yourself. Okay, I'm sure you do, my beautiful Gemini, but it's a little nudge just to remember how awesome you are, because if you have not been told by somebody, the energy right now wants to tell you, my guides want to tell you that you are awesome. Okay, now also with the crone, again, as I said, some of you are developing your spiritual gifts and you are very connected. Okay, so watch out for any downloads there. The Hermit energy is like, you know, some of you may want to go solo in a business, or if you're in a partnership, you may think about, you know, going on your own, or some of you may think about, if you're in a business on your own, you may want to partner up. So I definitely get a sense in career-wise, you're thinking about what's your next step. Also, you know, the Hermit energy is like to hunker down and wait for any crisis to pass. So if you're going through any difficulties right now, I feel like you're going to emerge on the other side because your wisdom took you to that place. The Empress is your last card, which really indicates that you're attracting more abundance, that you are going to be very productive during this time. You're very creative, you're very talented at what you do. Also, you are maturing. Male or female, not a gender-specific reading. It's about the energy. You're maturing and you're learning to find balance in life and find comfort and sensuality in the everyday, and try to see the beauty in the world, even when sometimes there appears to be none, so that you can actually find a more positive outlet. And, you know, again, it's that situation of trying to find gratitude and happiness, even when it feels that it's a bit of a difficult time, okay? Some of you may have felt a little bit like, on the outskirts looking in, a little bit lonely, or you felt you've been in a very solitary energy and feeling a little bit detached from situations. I feel like you are going to find your soul tribe through something creative, okay? So this is a prime time for getting yourself out there to do that. Now, also worth noting with that song that came through, you may hear that song on the radio. It will indicate that some good news or some sort of abundant energy is headed in your direction, okay? So I just want you to be aware of that. That song, it may play on the radio, in your car, or in someone else's car, or in the mall, or just come on by accident on your shuffle, even if it's music that you've never listened to before. I mean, it's an incredible song. That person is a genius. Those people are geniuses, the way that they created all this wonderful music that got to the collective on such a global scale. But at the same time, it's very intense energy. It's like bouncing off the walls energy. That's what I meant by, I feel like I'm in a pinball machine, that sort of energy that's coming through. So perhaps that's the excess energy that you will have, and you need to find a creative outlet to help you so that it doesn't become stagnant. If you've been feeling stuck, I definitely see you being liberated from your situation, and things only go, they get better, okay? The Empress energy is about attracting wealth as well, a lot of prosperity, but it can also be that you are someone who is very supportive of other people, and people find that they can confide in you because you have a wealth of knowledge. And I feel like you are a really great friend to people. You are an asset to any situation that you find yourself in. Now, the Empress also indicates promotion or an increase in finances if you are in the career sector. If you are someone who's retired, this is about living your best life through retirement, you know, honoring yourself, valuing yourself, and becoming the best version of yourself. You are the best version of yourself. This is a card also of, you know, connecting to better sleeping patterns, eating patterns, and you're going to notice a difference in the way that you look at yourself as well, much more from a positive viewpoint. So let us see what else is occurring for you. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? That's so interesting that those facts about Pluto in Aquarius came up there regarding like industrial advances, minting. You know, I don't even know what minting is. I'm going to have to look that up, but that's so interesting. That's not come through on anybody's reading. So maybe this is something that you've been looking at. Maybe you've been looking at trends in world events in order to notice any patterns or cycles that may be repeating at this time, so that you can put yourself in a really good position to weather a storm should there be one coming. So yeah, look, higher calling. So definitely you are thinking about your life's purpose. Now we have Raven, Shaman. If you've got Scorpio placements, there's definitely something in that message for you, because they got a raven in the water when I was scrying. So the fact that you're getting this card can indicate there may be something in that reading for you. If you don't have placements in that area, okay, of course, don't waste your time watching the Scorpio reading. We've got you are the creator and the magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and your words. Connect with the elemental spirits and glide through the void. We already mentioned the void earlier, okay? And it says here, claim your place as keeper of the mysteries. Okay, so you can see things that other people sometimes cannot see. And you will find that as Pluto brings the hidden to light, okay, especially since you got that black moon there, there may be some things that you have noticed or felt compelled to stick to your morals on, and you will find that you were right in these situations. Okay, so you may find that you just knew. Sometimes you know things and you don't know why you know things, but these are, you know, your guides whispering from the sidelines. And our guides whisper all the time, but it's important to take some time to listen, because we've built a very loud lifestyle, okay? As society, we've got lots of cars, we've got airplanes, we've got vibrations with Wi-Fi, or, you know, we've got, you know, just on a global scale, we've got lots of loud things going on, unless you're in nature, of course. And sometimes it's really hard to hear the heart or to listen to the heart. And I feel you've been listening. Not everybody listens. So I feel it's important to listen to those instincts. And we've also got those beautiful lions there. And it says, higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and for your tribe, okay? As I said, I feel that you do have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, but you're being guided to help yourself and others, and I feel there's a lot of positive things on the way for you, okay? I'm just gonna go and get a trinket before we close. Listen to the heart. We got the heart there, okay? So heart, this can indicate that there is love on its way for you if you're looking for love, but I feel ultimately you have a blossoming heart at this time. You're going through a real period of learning, and I feel it's enriching your soul and your heart. And I feel like the heart is a very important place, because it knows what it wants and it helps you manifest. Whenever you have an idea, you have to attach an emotion to it as well. So if you're like, oh, I really want to buy that car, you have to imagine yourself like you got that car, how it would feel to be in that car, driving that car, what it would mean that you worked so hard to get there. There's such a wonderful feeling of accomplishment. When you attach feelings to your visualizations, that's when you actually attract it quicker, okay? If you are detached from it, the universe believes that you don't feel it, you don't want it. So it's important for you to really engage your heart in all things. I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you, my beautiful Gemini. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Gemini. Love and light.